Thank you for joining me here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. We are continuing to follow some of the damage from this weekend's weather as we bring you updates into your communities across North Georgia. As you can see here, some of the impact that we're following from over the weekend. Many residents still picking up their pieces, cleaning up their communities today as we start the work week, and the debris is widespread and scattered across the North Georgia area. Again, those severe storms hitting several communities, leaving trees down, power outages, you name it. Our Atlanta News First Josh Skinner spoke with some residents who are navigating the damage.
Leighton Lewis skirted death this morning.
I'm glad to be alive, man.
The Sweetbriar Mobile Home Park resident says he was sleeping on his sofa when he awoke from a nightmare, only to encounter another.
I heard this grumbling, that hard wind coming like a roaring, coming from that way. And by the time I get up from here and reach to here, I hear that limb pop. This limb, look at it.
A massive limb falling from this tree directly onto his home, crushing half of it.
This is where my head was, young man, right here. This is where my head was, on the pillow like this, sleeping.
A similar situation played out a block up the road where a couple was sleeping when they heard a loud crash.
At first I'm like, it could be nothing. So something was just like, just look out the window. And then I look out the window and it's a big old tree just laying on top of my car, inches away from my bedroom.
The tree missed their home and heads. It did not miss the new Dodge Charger.
In complete shock. Just a tree just laying on top.
Coweta County Fire Rescue says these incidents were a best-case scenario. Most power outages have been fixed, and nobody was seriously injured. Were you injured? Are you okay?
I'm okay. Not a scratch.
Lewis spent the evening tarping his trailer, and he'll stay with family tonight, but he's alive. And whatever happens next is a gift.
It's a blessed thing, man. Blessed thing. I give thanks.
I want to take you over to DeKalb County now, where there is an urgent plea from Animal Services to ask anyone who can to adopt or foster these dogs you see on your screen. The shelter is dealing with overcrowding and could face having to euthanize dogs if they are not adopted or fostered. At last check, the shelter says it has about 538 dogs, and it wants to bring that number down to 495 by tomorrow. The shelter on Chamblee-Dunwoody Road is open 7 days a week, and it's staying open late on Tuesday. They're also offering free adoptions right now that include vaccinations, spay and neutering services, and microchipping. So if you have had this debate with yourself about whether it's a good time to bring in a furry friend into your home, this is a chance to also save a life. And more broadly, taking a look at the entire state of Georgia, we're seeing a widespread high level of flu activity in our state. In the past week, one person has died of the flu while almost 300 people were hospitalized. We checked the CDC's website and there are more than 3,500 people in the hospital. This is the most intense flu season our country has seen in the past 15 years. That's why doctors are letting you know when you should go to the ER for flu symptoms. Some of those symptoms to watch out for: if you have fever, muscle pains, body aches, and headaches, you should go to the hospital. Go contact your doctor immediately. Don't wait. However, if you see red flags, especially like persistent high fever, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, that might be a more urgent sign of emergency help that you could be developing pneumonia. Those at highest risk of getting severely sick are seniors and those with already pre-existing medical conditions like heart and lung disease. So really important to not only look out for yourself, but look out for your friends, family, and loved ones. And if you can get your vaccination, go and do so, as well as just making sure that you are staying as healthy and as safe as you can during this flu season. Another thing, with a looming deadline, a lot more people are going to start to take a closer look at as we get into March and April It's tax season. It's time to round up your W-2s, 1090s, and everything you need to file your return. And the sooner you file, the sooner you will receive a refund. So whether you plan on filing online or with a professional, Atlanta News First consumer investigator Better Call Harry is here to help you do it right and steer clear of those pesky scammers.
First of all, any phone call, text, or email that you receive from someone claiming to be the IRS is a scam. If the call comes from a business that claims you qualify for back taxes, it's either a scam or it's a debt relief company that wants you to pay them a lot of money. Do not answer the call, especially if it starts with a 1 before the area code or if the caller ID says it's the Internal Revenue Service. The IRS does not make calls about your tax return. Do not be intimidated if you receive a robocall or a voicemail threatening your arrest. Here's the thing. If you miss a deadline, any tax attorney will confirm that you will not go to IRS jail the next day. You will have to pay the bill at some point, but no one is going to bang down your door. The IRS will contact you always by mail.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because I deal with a lot of clients who don't file for years, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you name it. And, you know, when I talk to them, they're expecting a knock at their door shortly thereafter, and then nothing happens. And then another year passes, it's tax time, nothing happened, they just keep letting it go. Don't do that, by the way. It's not a good strategy, but if something happens, you typically get a letter about a year afterwards saying, hey, you didn't file a return, please file one. If that happens, you should definitely go ahead and prepare the return and file it.
If you don't file your tax return, remember this. There's a 25% penalty plus 7% interest, plus a late payment penalty, and another penalty on top of that. So you have to pay. But no one is going to call or threaten you. You can listen to my full conversation with Jason Wiggum answering all of your tax questions, and I even have an answer to where you can go to have your taxes done for free. Listen right now on all podcast platforms. Just look up Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First. I'll even send it directly to your phone. Just text taxes to 470-777 WANF.
Yeah, really important link for you there. All right, this next one, I am excited. I've been waiting to talk to you guys about this. There is an all-new
Beyond the Gates is about an affluent family who lives in a gated community in the D.C., Maryland area.
Predominantly a black community of self-made people.
Black folk living life like it's golden.
You weren't going to hear me complain.
The Duprees are the backbone of Fairmont Crest. They are activists, politicians, doctors, lawyers.
I am so proud of every one of you.
No matter what drama ensues, family always comes first.
What the hell?
Mind if I come in for a minute? Bill Hamilton, criminal defense attorney. Intimidating, a little gruff. He was married to Danny Dupree.
Her ex-husband is marrying one of her daughter's best friends.
Bill and I didn't set out to fall in love.
I'm spiraling.
You're going to see the spectrum of human emotion.
Protecting the family is our priority.
Agreed.
My inspiration comes from Peyton Place. You do see universal themes reflected here.
Everybody loves juicy soap opera stuff. Remember who you are. A Dupree woman. Tap into that heritage.
You're going to see love.
He sees marriage, kids, retirement, and then the golden years.
How perfect is it?
Vernon and Anita Dupree. Business or pleasure?
For inspiration.
A black couple that has been together for decades.
That's relationship goals right there. You're gonna see heartbreak.
I'm kind of a bad boy. Drama. Some people deserve to get a punch in the face.
Violence is never the answer.
He's following the footsteps of his grandfather.
Expect complicated, flawed characters.
Talk about a woman who has everything. You gotta dig deep to get that. That bitterness, anger isn't healthy.
I'll be healthy again as soon as I make a couple of cheaters pay for blowing up my life.
Beyond the gates is wealth.
The makeup, the hair.
Thank you, wardrobe.
The lighting, the sets, just amazing.
The storyline's always going to be titillating
And surprising at every turn.
We plan on entertaining you.
Yeah, definitely don't want to miss that. And hey, here's another thing you don't want to miss. We want to let you know about 2 First Alert weather days coming up Wednesday and Thursday. You are going to want to be prepared for these. Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey is coming up next with another installment of Weather Where You Are. That's just 20 minutes away at 11:30. For now, let's take you back to Local News Live.